Doing the things you love to do just got a lot easier. Because now in Illinois, you no longer need a prescription to start physical therapy. At Athletico, our physical therapists help people overcome pain and discomfort. Schedule a free assessment at Athletico and start feeling better today. And keep on doing the things you love to do. Athletico Physical Therapy. Better for every body.
To run it down here real quick, it's the 200-yard individual medley, then followed by the 50-yard freestyle, then immediately followed with the 200-yard breaststroke, then the 100-yard backstroke, then the men and women's 500-yard freestyle, and then wrapping things up with the men and women's 400-yard medley relay. I'm Derek Tate, and thank you again for joining us here at Stevenson High School in Lincolnshire, Illinois. And tonight's Senior Swimming Championships is hosted by the Patriot Aquatic Club. We are going to throw it over to the public address announcer here in just a moment for the national anthem. But while we have you on, at Athletico, our physical therapist actually, we're going to go ahead and jump over to the national anthem I believe right now. So he's actually giving a quick shout out to our military and armed forces veterans. So we're going to go ahead and throw it over to the public address announcer as we honor our ex-military here at Stevenson High School, and then the national anthem. A beautiful rendition of the national anthem to kick us. It's setting the mood, setting the tone here. A packed house in Stevenson High School here in Lincolnshire, Illinois. Again, we are on the third day of 4 days of Illinois Senior Championships here in 2019. And Stevenson High School now again to kick things off. We are going to go ahead and start with Leslie Sachaki from the West Swim Team. The women's 100-yard backstroke time trial. The meet record set by Shannon Kearney back in 2017 with a 54.76. The Illinois state record set back in 2010 by Olivia Smoliga with 52.44. And the Nationals time is 53.29. Junior Nationals, 54.49. And the Futures at 58.09. Now the meet qualifying time was set at 1 minute point and then 900ths of a second. And Leslie Sachaki posted a 106.43 to go ahead and qualify. And she's through the first 50 yards here in just a moment of her 100-yard backstroke run. She clocks in at her first 50 yards at 33.90. Again, she was actually in the pool yesterday to kick off the finals by herself and her competing against herself in her own time trials. And again, that's with a packed house and you're the only one in the pool. That's one way to get your adrenaline spiked here to kick things off at the 2019 Illinois Swimming Senior Championships. As Leslie Sachaki is about to finish up, trying to best her time of 106.43. She clocks in at 108.17 to go ahead and get us started, and we are now underway. We're jumping into the finals for the women's 200-yard individual medley. I'm Derek Tate. I'm going to be alongside Jay Pfeiffer. Jay, we got ourselves some action here and some great performances earlier today.
Absolutely. Preliminary action, just too exciting earlier in the day. Again, and we're going to finish it off tonight with, of course, a lot of exciting races. And we're going to start, actually, with the C final. This is the C final here, women's 200-yard individual medley. So we'll have Peyton Baxter from St. Charles. She's in lane 1. Alyssa Brault, also from St. Charles, is in lane 2. Grace Prendergast from Lyon Aquatics is in lane 3. Madison Schmill, from the Wolfpack is in lane 4. Sydney Kelly is in lane 5 from the Bullets. Her teammate Cyril Limbu is in lane 6. Megan Armstrong is in lane 7 from St. Charles, and from Swift Aquatics is Veronica Peachnick.
Now it's actually getting the nod in lane number 2. She was one of the alternates, was Anna Grovberger. She is in place of Alyssa Brault. So the ladies are off and running here in the opening event for the 2019 Illinois Senior Championships, third day on Saturday. And as of right now, it looks like in lane 3, it's Grace Prendergast out in front for Lions Swimming. Also almost dead even with her in lane 6 is Cyril Limbu.
Meet record here set in 2009 by Alyssa Finn at 159.91. Illinois state record 158.58 set by Leah Hayes in 2018. National standard 158.29. Junior nationals 2 minutes and 59 hundredths of a second. And the future standard is 2 minutes 8 seconds .29.
Now they are off and running into the second discipline of their 4 disciplines for this 200-yard individual medley. And right now, it's a pretty evenly contested medley through about the 150-yard mark.
Yeah, individual medley, again, we'll reset the disciplines for you. They start with the backstroke. They're on the breaststroke currently. Then they're going to, excuse me, my correction. They're going to the freestyle now, and that's where they'll finish it up. So backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle, and I believe, again, like I said, I think they'll finish that up with this freestyle.
Well, as we're coming down the home stretch here at about the final 15 yards, out in front in lane number 1 is Peyton Baxter from St. Charles. She's being challenged by Madison Schimmel in lane 4, and it is Madison Schimmel with a 207.37, a final 50-yard split of 28.98 in second in this opening C final. Peyton Baxter up in lane number 1 with a 207.39. Now, later on, it is broken up into 3 different finals. But, Jay, there are going to be 8 that actually hit the podium for the final. It's just the top 8 times.
It's an excellent reminder for those watching at home. Again, yeah, only a few racers in that final, but they will recognize the top 8 during the award ceremonies. As we move on to the B final now, it's Mary Janya from St. Charles in lane 1. Tiffany Ruan is going to be in lane 2 from Fox Valley. Delta Aquatics is represented by Grace Cooper in lane 3. Nina Mullen in lane 4 from the Bullets. Delta Aquatics, again, is in lane 5. That is Maxine Parkinson. Allison Penrod from the Bullets is in lane 6. Her teammate Natalie Ungeretti is in lane 7. And at the bottom of your screen is Abigail Smith from Highland Park.
As they are often running on the first discipline, the butterfly on the 200-yard individual medley. In lane number 3, it's Grace Cooper, challenged right next to her by Tiffany Ruan through the first discipline, and it is Grace Cooper out in front with a 26.51 on her opening split.
So I want to make the correction now because I was a little confused from the individual medleys from yesterday. They actually start with the butterfly in these IMs, then they'll transition to the backstroke, go to the breaststroke then, and they'll finish with the freestyle. So it's a little different from the individual medley relays that we did last night.
As we are here almost finishing up the second discipline, almost the halfway point of this 200-yard individual medley, it is still a tightly contested race in lanes 2 and 3 as Tiffany Ruan does take actually it is still Grace Cooper out in front by 0.2 of a second over Tiffany Ruan as they now move on to the breaststroke.
Yep, and let's keep an eye on lane 8 at the bottom of your screen. That's Abigail Smith from Highland Park. She had a great turn there.
It was actually Nina Mullen in this B final that posted the best qualifying time at 2:06.21. And she is actually out in front along with Grace Cooper as she's starting to hit her stride on the breaststroke.
Yeah, Nina Mullen, a name I'm familiar with from last summer, one of the bright stars of these swimming championships. She had, that's another great turn by Nina Mullen as they now transition to the final discipline, the freestyle.
Nina Mullen with a 35.95 edges out Grace Cooper on that 50-yard split for the breaststroke and a great vault off the wall, and Nina Mullen is in control here in this B final.
She's going to bring it on home. She's got about a half a length body lead, but check out, is that lane 3? That is Grace Cooper from Delta Aquatics. She's trying to challenge.
Here we are dropping into the wall, and it is going to be Nina Mullen who posts a time of 2:04.58, taking down this B final. Grace Cooper in second from Delta Swimming with a 2:05.52, and in third place, it was Allison Penrod, actually, in lane 6 from the Academy Bullets. We're moving on to the A final for the 200-yard individual medley for the women. And they come out with a little bit of music here, Jay.
Yep.
I mean, if you had an intro song, I don't know what it would be. I would come out to the Rocks intro theme song from way back when.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we do have a great A slate final here for the 200-yard individual medley for the women, and I'm going to run it down as we got in lane 3 from Fox Valley, Mckenna Stone. In lane number 4 from St. Charles, and she's had a great 2009 Illinois Senior Championship, so that's Mallory Jump. In lane number 5 from Lions Aquatics, it's Callahan Dunn. And in lane number 6 from the Academy Bullets, Sydney Van Overmarion.
Yeah, Sydney Van Overmarion, her future standard qualifying time is 2:04.81, but the fastest in this final seed is Mallory Jump. Again, we're going to mention her name a few more times over tonight and tomorrow. She had the fastest seed time at 2:02.54 as they're ready to get into the water.
And they are off.
That was a great start. That is lane 5, Callahan Dunn. Now, again, these are 200 yards, so there's technically a sprint, but for these young women, it is incredibly impressive how they're able to keep their focus with these different disciplines as they start with the butterfly.
Mallory Jump and Mckenna Stone neck and neck through the first 50 yards of the first discipline and touching the wall almost at identical times, but it is Mallory Jump out in front by 1/10 of a second with a 25.71 on the opening split.
But great underwater work. That is, again, lane 5, Callahan Dunn, and check her positioning. She's close to that railing, trying to drive some of that speed from Mallory Jump.
As they go into the turn on their second discipline of the breaststroke, or the backstroke, excuse me, it is still Mallory Jump who did some great wall work. Let's see what she can do as she's going to make her transition into the breaststroke.
Boy, that was a great turn. Look at that underwater work by Callahan Dunn. I believe they are dead even at this point. Callahan Dunn popping up out of that pool pretty much halfway through that 25 yards. and she has a great turn. She is with a slight lead now, I believe, over Mallory Jump.
Yeah, Mallory Jump came up a little bit early on her transition into the breaststroke. She did have a good turn on the other end, but it is Callahan Dunn and Mallory Jump heading to the wall as they're going to make their transition to the freestyle in the final discipline of this 200-yard individual medley in the A final.
Now, Callahan Dunn came up a little bit early on that freestyle. We're going to see if that is able to pay off for her. Mallory Jump is right there with her, though. But again, let's also look at Sydney Van Overmyron and Mckenna Stone. It's going to be a tight finish.
And it is the final turn, and it's Callahan Dunn and Mallory Jump neck and neck. And lane 3, it's Mckenna Stone trying to make a late push. This one's going to come right down to the wire.
Wow, who's going to get there first?
Here we go. It is Sydney Van Overmyron from the Academy Bullets with a 2:02.07 by 0.03 of a second over Mallory Jump and Callahan Dunn, who came in identical, tied for second at 2:02.10.
It doesn't get any better than that to start off the evening session, Derek. A great A final for the women's 200 individual medley.
Well, gentlemen, you have your hands full to try to go ahead and top that final for the 200-yard individual medley. We are now transitioning over into event number 14, the men's 200-yard individual medley. Now, the meet record set back in 2017 by Nicholas Zito, who is in the A final for this, but we are starting off with the C final. He set it with a 148.21. The Illinois state record set in 2007 by Mike Alexandrov. Now, the national standard, 145.19. The junior national, 148.89. And the futures at 155.09. Now, Heat C, in lane number 1 at the top of your screen, it's Connor McCarthy from West Swimming. In lane number 2, from the Dolphins, William Boley. In lane number 3, from Fox Valley, Lucas Conrads. In lane number 4, from Glenbrook, it's Timothy Hayes. In lane number 5, also his teammate from Glenbrook, Sammy Mosali. In lane number 6, from the Mavericks, Alexander Dovrak. And in lane number 7, from the Academy Bullets, Matthew Felber. And on the bottom of your screen, from Patriots Aquatics, Jack Zhang.
Yeah, fastest C time here in the prelims belongs to Timothy Hayes from Glenbrook in lane 4, 155.9.
Now the first 50-yard split belongs to Timothy Hayes from Glenbrook with a 24.39. They are now on the second discipline, and a great vault off the wall there from Timothy Hayes in lane 4.
Close to the railing is Timothy Hayes. Look at that water work, keeping those shoulders still as he goes to the turn for the breaststroke.
And another great vault off the wall. He almost covers half of the pool. His 28.20 split, fantastic through the first 50 yards. Now heading down the back 100 on the breaststroke.
Let's keep an eye on lane 7. That is Matthew Felber from Academy Bullets. He had a great turn into his breaststroke as well.
And here is Timothy Hayes. He's still out in front by a full length over Matthew Felber in second. Pushing for third in lane 6 is Alexander Dovrak as they hit the final transition into the freestyle. It is still Timothy Hayes out in front by a full second over Matthew Felber.
But I tell you what, in lane 7, again, that is Matthew Felber. He's making up some ground. This is going to be another very close finish, Derek.
Into the final turn, and a great one there from Matthew Felber, but it was also a great one from Alexander Dovrak in lane 6 for the Mavericks, trying to hawk down Timothy Hayes.
I think he's going to do it. Alexander Dvorak in lane 6, he does. He ends up with a great comeback on the freestyle and wins this final with a 154.64 time.
In second, it was actually Matthew Felber with 155.09, and Timothy Hayes, who was out in front throughout most of the heat, or the final, was 155.11 in third place.
On to the B final now. Again, let's we've got wall-to-wall action here at this evening session. Let's run down those names for you again in this B final. It'll be Connor Boyle, a pair of Fox Valley teammates in lanes 1 and 2. Connor Boyle in 1, Jack Hiss in 2. Jacob Shapiro from Glenbrook will be in lane 3. James Doramal from BRRY is in lane 4. Trevor Carter from Wheaton is in lane 5. Nathaniel Baxter from St. Charles will be in lane 6. Lane 7 is Andy Ritzema from Bloomington. And in lane 8, that is Michael Bennington from Ultimate Swimming.
And they're into the water as they're going to go ahead and kick this off with the butterfly for the first discipline of this 200-yard individual medley. The B final now, it was James Doramal who posted the best time and actually a future standard at 153.95 in the qualifying heat earlier today. And through the first 50 yards, it is...
That's lane 1.
Very close. It is lane number 1. It's Connor Boyle with a 23.77. In lane number 3, it's Jacob Shapiro in second for Glenbrook. And he got off the wall great, and it seems like he's a little bit out in front. Let's see how they do on this turn for the backstroke.
A little early on that turn. That is lane 4 for James Doorman.
And it is Jacob Shapiro and Connor Boyle in lanes 1 and 3 that are out in front, as they're going to hit the halfway point of this 200-yard individual medley and go into the third discipline,
Check out
which
that
is the
underwater
breaststroke.
work for this breaststroke. Again, popping up with just about half of the pool length. That is lane 3, Jacob Shapiro from Glenbrook.
Jacob Shapiro with a 28.37 on his last 50-yard split. And here they are off the wall. Let's see the underwater work from the gentleman.
I continue to be impressed by the underwater work from these young athletes. That is lane 4. Starting to get back into this thing is James Doorman, and he's actually got the lead at this point as they transition into the freestyle.
31.98 on that 50-yard split. Fantastic from James Doorman. He is out in front.
Chopping that water, moving those hands. Again, this is a sprint event. All of these young athletes are leaving it all out there for this final.
Great wall work there from Doorman, but so does Jacob Shapiro. Gets a nice jump off the wall. He's starting to close the gap here as we are going to drop it into the wall.
It's James Doorman.
It is James Doorman with a 152.94 as he bests Jacob Shapiro by about half a second, 153.27. And in third, in lane number 5, it was Trevor Carter from Wheaton. So here we are. We're heading now into the A final for the men's 200-yard individual medley. And it was actually, and we're going to go ahead and run down the lane assignments to go ahead and get things kicked off. In lane number 3, at the top of your screen from Glenbrook, it's going to be Ryan Purdy, who posted a 152.10, a future standard, to qualify for this A final. In lane number 4, from West Chicago, this young man is having himself a weekend. It is Nicholas Vance, who put up a junior national qualifier at 148.51. In lane number 5, from Glenbrook, Max Ida. And in lane number 6, at the bottom of your screen, from the Dunlap Dolphins, Daniel Matlock.
Yeah, again, we know this by now, but if you haven't watched up to this point at the 2019 Illinois Swimming Championships, Nicholas Vance, one of the super standouts of these young athletes. He is amazing.
He's the real deal. He actually set another meet record last night in one of the other finals. I believe it was the 800 or one of the 400 or 800 distance races. My apologies, my memory is slipping me here a little bit as we get underway in this A final for the men's 200-yard individual medley.
That's a great start by, what is that, lane 5? That is
Max Ida.
Max Ida. That was a great start off the blocks.
And off the wall, and Max Ida. What a beautiful start here for Ida as he explodes off the first turn as they now go into the backstroke in the second discipline of this 200-yard individual medley.
23.41 for that split for Max Ida.
And here is Nicholas Vance beginning to make his move on this second discipline. Into the turn they go. And look at the work from Vance in lane 4. Doesn't even pop his head up until he hits about the halfway mark in the pool.
Mentioned this yesterday, and I'll mention it again. Not the greatest starter, Nicholas Vance, but boy, does he get into it once the race gets going.
And he always does great work on the breaststroke as he is cooking here. A 25.60 on his most recent 50-yard split as he goes into the turn for his 50-yard breaststroke.
Above Nicholas Vance, that is lane 3, Ryan Purdy from Glenbrook. Had great underwater work as well. He's trying to keep pace with Nicholas Vance.
And it's going to be Vance that's going to hit the wall first, heading into the final discipline, the freestyle. A 32.03 on that 50-yard split for Nicholas Vance. He is out in front in lane 5. Max Ida is back in second place from Glenbrook.
Final turn for Nicholas Vance.
Oh, and Nicholas Vance, great work, but Ryan Purdy with a nice turn in his own right, trying to make this interesting down the final 10 yards.
To the finish line, though, it does look like it will be. Yes, Nicholas Vance continues Again, almost setting another record here is Nicholas Vance winning this A final with a 148.28.
He just was 7/100ths of a second off of the meet record set by Nicholas Zito back in 2017, a 148.28. Another great performance from Nicholas Vance. We'll see him at the #1 spot on the podium later tonight as we now head into the women's 50-yard freestyle. As we are going to, now this is going to come at a blistering pace. Now the meet record was set back in 2018 by Grace Areola with a 22.17. The Illinois record set by Olivia Smoliga in 2012 with a 22.05. Now the contestants for this C final in lane #1 at the top of your screen from Fox Valley, Kristen Steggy. In lane #2 from Fox Valley as well, her sister Rachel Steggy. In lane #3 from Lions Aquatics, Mary Gannon. In lane #4 from Fox Valley, Tiffany Ruan. In lane #5 from Hinsdale, Ciara Mulcahy. In lane #6 from Patriots Aquatics, it's her birthday, Drew Pettery. In lane 7 from New Trier Aquatics, Joelle Orr. And in lane #8, at closest to your screen, LWSA, it's Leah Moeller. And again, this is a 50-yard sprint, so we're not going to have very much time to have a ton of conversation as they hit the only turn in this contest. It's going to be very close. In lane 3 and 4, it's Tiffany Ruan is going to edge out Mary Gannon, a 23.71. Fantastic time for Tiffany Ruan. The Fox Valley product takes the C final. Now we head into the B final at the top of your screen. From Delta, it's going to be Molly Lubner. In lane #2 from the Academy Bullets, Athena Yee. In lane #3 from BRRY, Catherine Morris. In lane #4 from the Waves Bloomington, it's Julia Heimstead. In lane #5 from the Academy Bullets, it's Natalie Ungaretti. In lane #6 from the Academy Bullets, Jessica Drain. In lane #7 from Fox, it's Megan Jack. In lane #8 at the bottom of your screen from Delta, Jessica Davis. As we here are the B final for the women's 50-yard freestyle, and they are in the water. The start is so vitally important on this 50-yard sprint. They've only got one turn. They better make it count. And it looks like in lane 5, Natalie Ungaretti seemed to hit the wall first, but here we are. It's going to be another closely contested B final here, and it is going to be Natalie Ungaretti who takes it down for the Academy Bullets with a 23.35. And for the Waves Bloomington in lane 4, coming in second, was Julia Heimstead with a 23.64. Blistering pace here to kick things off on this Saturday evening of finals action of the 2019 Illinois Senior Championships. The women's 50-yard freestyle A final. A little bit of music as the 4 finalists are coming out in this A final. At the top of your screen in lane #3 from the NASA Wildcats, Carli Novaline. In lane #4 from Fox, it's Mckenna Stone. In lane #5 from Delta, it's going to be Grace Cooper. And in lane #6 at the bottom of your screen from Waves Bloomington, Anna Poplowski. Now posting the top time for this qualifier, and all of them qualified for future standards, but it was Mckenna Stone from Fox Valley with a 23.22. And again, just a reminder, the record for this meet in the 50-yard freestyle for the women, 22.17, set last year from Grace Areola. And here are the 4A finalists. And here is the start, and a solid start across the board. In lane #5, Grace Cooper with a great dive into the pool off the platform, and here's the only turn of this A final. And a great turn from Grace Cooper, Mckenna Stone, and Carli Novaline at the top of your screen. It's anybody's race as they touch the wall, and it is Grace Cooper from Delta edging out Anna Poplowski by just a 1/10 of a second. 22.72 from Grace Cooper, your A finalist victor. And Anna Poplowski in second with a 22.86. In third was Mckenna Stone with a 22.89. And coming in fourth was Miss Novaline with a 23.01. Now we're moving on to the men's 50-yard freestyle. The meet record set back in 2018 by Topher Stensby. He is going to be in your A final for this contest. He set it back last year with a 20.03. Here we are, the C finalists in the pool right now. At lane number 1 at the top of your screen from Cats Aquatics, Ethan Batko. In lane number 2 from the Peoria Water Wizards, Benjamin Owens. In lane number 3 from Wheaton, Liam Hutchinson. In lane number 4 from St. Charles, Alexei Filipovich. In lane number 5, Donovan Lehman. In lane number 6, Toby Obochi. In lane number 7 from Cullen Coughlin. And in lane number 8, Jack Thorell. We're
already at the finish here. Fast action at the 2019 Swimming Championships. Who's going to hit that wall first?
It's Donovan Lehman from West Swim Club with a 21.02, edging out Alexei Filipovich, who comes in second. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and roll over to the B final now. Here we are in lane number 1 at the top of your screen from the Mavericks, Mark Avery. In lane number 2 from Wheaton, Andrew Dye. In lane number 3 from Glenbrook, Michael Haji Ivanov. In lane number 4 from West, Nicholas Zito. In lane number 5 from the Wolfpack, Seth Miller. In lane number 6 from Fox, Connor Boyle. In lane number 7 from Hinsdale, Brighton Butcher. In lane number 8 from St. Charles, Matthew Nagler. Now the Illinois state record set back in 2008 by Kyle Bowles with a 19.39 as the men are now into the water for this B final. A great start in lane 4 for Nicholas Zito as they head into the wall. Almost at the same exact moment, another tight finish in the men's 50-yard freestyle. They're going to be dropping it into the wall, and it's going to be Michael Haji Evanoff, 21.06, but Nicholas Zito's clock is still running, Now, Jay, I'm not sure, but...
Yeah, I think that's a clock malfunction, actually. I have seen this before. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to resolve that issue necessarily. When we get the information, hopefully we can bring it to you. But as of right now, it looked like it was lane 4.
Nicholas Zito, he was the one that from up here, our vantage point, it looked like he touched the wall first,
right?
But his clock didn't stop, so it was Michael Haji Evanoff. Technically, the unofficial times with the top spot with a 21.06. Here we are now, the A final for the men's 50-yard freestyle. Your 4 swimmers in the top of your screen from the Wolfpack. It's going to be Bence Sabados from the Wolfpack. Now in lane number 4, again, it is the meet record holder, Topher Stensby from the host Patriot Aquatic Club. In lane number 5 from St. Charles, William Meyer. And in lane number 6 from Fox, Brian Doherty. Now the fastest qualifier, to no one's surprise, being the record holder for this meet and this event, Topher Stensby posted a 20.10, which was just off his meet record from last year. So Topher Stensby looking to defend his crown, but some solid times posted by the rest of this A final as they get ready to take their mark. And off the platform explodes Topher Stensby, and he's got a slight advantage. In lane number 6, keep an eye on Brian Doherty as they hit the one turn that they have in this A final. It is Stensby out in front, trailed by Sabados in lane 3, touching the wall. Does he have a new record? There is some sort of clock or malfunction issue with lane number 4 right now. They got to go ahead and get this checked out.
They have to resolve that again. Again, from our vantage point, it looked pretty clear that Topher Stensby touched the wall first. Unfortunately, we do not have that official time for Topher Stensby, as we hear the crowd reaction now. Again, I don't know if they would have to move lanes.
You hear the crowd reaction, and you see Topher Stensby.
Yeah, he is not happy.
I don't blame him. He was shaking his head because he was very close. Right now, it is Bence Sabados with a 20.24, which was a fantastic time, besting his qualifying time by 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, and Derek, again, they're going to have to do something with this lane. I'm not sure. There's something wrong with the touchpad, or obviously some sort of malfunction is going on there. Maybe it looks like they might be switching it out.
Yeah, I mean, they may be going to the awards here in just a second, Jay. But yeah, right now they are going to probably switch.
Yeah, they're switching it out. You can see the other staffers bringing in another touch board here.
So I mean, this is kind of an interesting situation, which I'm sure has been encountered before in swim meets across the country. But just to kind of give some sort of an idea, especially in these A finals where gentlemen have a chance to set a new meet record and they have these great swims, and just to have and unfortunately. In lane 4, Nicholas Zito.
Yep, in the B final.
In the B final, who fell victim to the same exact scenario where he was likely the first to touch the wall, but with a little bit of a sensor issue, it's going to have to be cleaned up here a little bit.
Yeah, and again, if they do post those times, they may announce it during the award ceremony. Again, not sure here. We'll bring it to you as we get that information. But yeah, if you're one of those competitors, right? I mean, it's disappointing in a way because, again, you want to know what time you got, right? You're competing against standards and records that in some cases you set yourself, right? So you want to have that motivation to, again, set those times and those marks. So it's, again, a bit disappointing for these athletes, but they'll get the situation resolved. We up here, again, from our vantage point, pretty clear that the winners were in lane 4, but again, we just do not have those official times for you.
Now, on your screen, you do see a ton of folks wearing purple shirts from the Patriots Aquatic Club, which are the hosts for this event here at Stevenson High School. Now, as you notice, they have 2 stopwatches around their neck.
Right.
So they're probably manually taking these times just in case of situations like this. So when we do find out whatever the time may be, we will certainly relay that information to you for Nicholas Zito and Topher Stensby in the B and A finals for the men's 50-yard freestyle.
So now we're going to have our award ceremonies for the individual medleys and freestyles, and we will show you those top 8 finishers as they come out.
So we have an update, and the reason why you can hear the crowd cheering behind us is because with a time of 19.76, we have a new meet record set by the A finalist winner for the men's 50-yard freestyle, Topher Stensby.
Yeah, that is a national standard for Topher Stensby. Very impressive performance. Unfortunately, we did not get Nikola Zito's time. He was in the B final in lane 4. Unfortunately, we, the announcers, did not get his time. But again, we were pretty sure that he won his B final. But Topher Stensby, wow, under sub 20 final.
I mean, great job here by the Patriots Aquatic Club, clocking in that amazing time. The hand clock down at the bottom in the purple shirts. Great job, everybody down there. As we now move into the women's 200-yard breaststroke, the meet record set back in 2009 by Alyssa M. Finn and with 2:11.46. Now, let's go ahead and run down the contestants for the C final in lane number 1 at the top of your screen from
NASA Wildcats.
NASA Wildcats. That's going to be Audrey Richardson. In lane number 2 from the Academy Bullets, Kelly Seago. Her teammate from the Bullets in lane number 3, Tara Geronis. In lane number 4 from BDSC, that's Carissa Seppin. In lane number 5 from West Swim Club, that's Margaret Meehan. In lane number 6 from the Mavericks, Paige Collins. In lane number 7 from BRRY, Megan Murphy. And in lane number 8 at the bottom of your screen from Fox, Divya Kale.
200-yard breaststroke. Again, great underwater work to start this race off. Most of these young ladies popping up with about half a length of pull as they make their first turn.
Yeah, I always feel like the breaststroke, it's the most important as far as your ability to get off the walls.
Agreed.
Effectively, as they now complete their first 50 yards of this 200-yard C final for the 200-yard women's breaststroke. And it is
Kelly Seago in lane 2, 31.57 with that first 50 yards.
Fantastic. Now, again, the Illinois record set by Alyssa Finn in 2009 with a 2:10.86, the national time or national standard, 2:11.69, the junior national standard 2:15.49, and the future standard at 2:22.69.
Fastest seat time belongs to lane 4. That's Julia Krall from Academy Bullets with a 2:23.85.
Well, through the first 100 yards, it's Kelly Seago off to a great start at 35.76 on that 50-yard split at the halfway point of the women's 200-yard breaststroke for the C final. It is Kelly Seago from the Bullets out in front
by about a half a body length over her nearest competitors as she makes another turn. Let's check out that underwater work, Derek.
Now you do see Audrey Richardson. Look at her lane placement, trying to catch the draft of Kelly Seago up in lane 1.
And she is gaining some ground there.
And we're gonna take a look as they're gonna head into their final 50 yards, the last quarter of this 200-yard women's breaststroke C final. Kelly Seago still out in front. Audrey Richardson not far behind, less than a second.
Let's also keep an eye on lane 6. That's Paige Collins from the Mavericks. She's gotten into this race as well.
A great 36.78 split as the ladies make their final turn. It is Kelly Seago that is out in front, but a great vault off the wall from Audrey Richardson.
Teammates from the Academy Bullets, lanes 1 and 2, Richardson and Seago. Can Richardson overtake her in these last 10 yards?
Dropping into the wall, and lane number 6 also making a late push, but it is Kelly Seago who was out in front from wire to wire with a 2:21.35 as she takes down this C final. Audrey Richardson from the NASA Wildcats with a 2:21.87. Now moving on to the B final at the top of your screen in lane number 1 from St. Charles. It's Julia Krall from the Academy Bullets in one of the alternates.
Yes, I noticed that now.
Yeah, so it's in lane number 2, it's Nina Mullen from the Academy Bullets. So the teammates are going to be at the top of your screen in lanes 1 and 2. In lane number 3 from West Swim Club, Elizabeth Benji. In lane number 4 from the Academy Bullets, Sydney
Van Overmyron.
Van Overmyron, thank you. And lane number 5 from the West Swim Club, it's Sylvia Kobilak. In lane number 6 from St. Charles, Mallory Jump. In lane number 7 from the Bullets, Kelsey Krish. And in lane number 8 at the bottom of your screen from Hinsdale, Mia Savicevic.
And we do apologize. I must make this clear. We didn't. It looks like there may have been a reseed or an alternate was put in. We did not have that information, so if I misspoke on a name, again, I apologize in advance.
I'm just looking at the scoreboard, trying to keep up with everything as they complete the first 50 yards, and it is Sydney Van Overmyeren out in front with a 30.95 to kick it off here for the women's 200-yard breaststroke B final.
And one key to watch here in this breaststroke is how they're able to dip into these turns, have to touch with the hands first, and then push off. One of the more difficult turns for the discipline.
And right now, through the first 150 yards, or the first 75 yards, Van Overmyeren absolutely in control as she makes her return at the halfway point of this B final. And look at the work underwater from Van Overmyeren.
Popping up with about 12 yards in the pool is Sydney Van Overmyeren. She's starting to pull away a little bit here, focused on that wall as she makes her final turn.
Keep an eye on Mallory Jump in lane number 6 from St. Charles, and in lane number 2, Nina Mullen from the Bullets, as they are in second and third respectively, but they are trailing by 2 lengths as Sydney Van Overmyeren is about to make her turn at the 150-yard mark of this B final for the women's 200-yard breaststroke. And she is in great, now you look so consistent off that wall. Every single turn, she's been at the midpoint of the pool.
And as you can see, she's moving that water. Again, head still, shoulder straight. She's focused on finishing this race.
Now, she posted a time of 2:20.53, which is a future standard in the qualifying heat. She is going to be close to topping that as she is reaching for the wall.
Last 10 yards here. Sydney Van Overmyeren will hit that wall at a blistering pace, 2:15.96 for the Academy Bullets product.
That was actually the best time posted in this event for the entire weekend. So the A final has their work cut out for them now. In second, I didn't quite catch who it was. I think in lane 6 it was Mallory Jump with a 2:18.83. Mallory Jump, we've been calling her name quite a bit. We will continue to do so as we head into the women's A final for the 200-yard breaststroke. Your swimmers in lane number 3 from St. Charles, Mary Janya. In lane number 4 from New Trier Aquatics, Kaylin Gridley. In lane number 5 from the host, Patriot Aquatic Club, Hannah Liu. And in lane number 6 at the bottom of your screen from the Academy Bullets, Madeline Winnig.
Fastest seed time, again, and most of the fastest seed times will be the swimmers in lane 4. In this case, it's Kaylin Gridley from New Trier Aquatics, posting with a future standard of 2:17.29.
Now, I want to keep an eye on 2:15.96. Again, it's going to go by the top times when we're going to that podium. So
top 4 swimmers in this A final, but again, like you just said, Derek, they will post the top 8 performers at the award ceremony.
So the mark to beat is 2:15.96 as we are about to begin this A final for the women's 200-yard breaststroke.
Off the blocks and in the water are these young ladies. Again, so impressed by that underwater work. Wow, that is about 17 yards of underwater work from these young ladies off the blocks.
Hannah Liu in particular in lane 5, well past the midway point of the pool, off the platform to start things off. As they are heading to the 50-yard mark, out in front is Kaylin Gridley from New Trier Aquatics. And in second, the 2 swimmers to each of her sides, Mary Janya and Hannah Liu. The first 50-yard split, 29.93 from Kaylin Gridley.
And again, a key to this breaststroke is to be steady, right? As we see in like the freestyle or maybe the backstroke sprints, a lot of choppy water, trying to sprint and gain that speed, but different for this breaststroke. You want to be smooth, you want to be streamlined, make sure you get off your turns well, and setting that standard again. That is lane 4, Kaylin Gridley from New Trier Aquatics with about a body length lead over, that is lane 5, Hannah Liu from Patriot.
Through the first 100 yards, another 34.49 split. And a great start for Kaylin Gridley from New Trier Aquatics.
A great turn, though. That is, again, Hannah Liu in lane 5. She made up a lot of ground with that turn, trying to get back into this race.
As they head into their turn, it is going to be, and look at the distance from both Kaylin Gridley and Hannah Lou, who's still underwater. Hannah Lou is starting to catch up to Kaylin Gridley.
I wonder if she's aware. Again, it's not like this is the freestyle where you can kind of see your opponent next to you. I'm pretty sure she can notice it when she makes her turn. But again, these young swimmers have to be focused on their goal and hitting that wall right.
Hannah Lou with another beautiful turn. She is still back by about half a body length on Kaylin Gridley as they approach their final turn.
Kaylin Gridley, New Trier Aquatics. Let's check out that underwater work on that final turn. Popping up after the flags. Oh, wow, look at Hannah Lou. I think she may have actually lost some ground on that turn, though, as it looks like Kaylin Gridley will bring this thing home. Let's check her time.
And it is Kaylin Gridley in lane 4 from New Trier Aquatics with a 2:15.54, and she does edge out from the B final winner, Van Overmyron, by 0.4 of a second. And second was Hannah Lou in the A final from Patriot Aquatic Club with a 2:17.33. In third, down in lane 6, it was Madeline Wenig.
Congratulations to Kaylin Gridley again on winning that A final. As we move on now, this is event 18. It's the men's turn, 200-yard breaststroke C final here. In lane 1, top of your screen, we'll have Tristan Lundgren from Hinsdale, Philip Scarum from HWSA is in lane 2, Michael Rosa from Academy Bullets is in lane 3, Elmer Wing is in lane 4 from Fox Valley. His teammate below him will be Rohan Nagori in lane 5. Jack O'Connor is in lane 6 from the Bullets. Ultimate Swimming is represented by Michael Bennington in lane 7. And at the bottom of your screen, Preston Waldusky from Fox Valley.
Now to go ahead and run down some of the numbers. The meet record set by Nicholas Zito back in 2017 with a 155.76. The state record set back in 2008 by Mike Alexandrov with a 151.96. Now the national standard at 158.29. The junior national standard at 201.19. And the future standard at 208.59 as the gentlemen are about to make the first 50 yards.
meters. That is 50 yards. Excuse me. 50 yards. That was lane 1 at the top of your screen. Tristan Lundgren from Hinsdale.
Like you mentioned, a lot of how smooth some of these swimmers have to be on this event. Barely any splashing. In fact, the calmer the water, the better.
Yep, exactly. I was just going to say splashing is really what you don't want to see when it comes to the breaststroke. You want to be streamlined. The more splashing, a little more resistance in that water. So you want to make sure you're moving your hands, keeping that head down and steady.
At the halfway point of the halfway point of the C final, it is Tristan Lundgren, but a great jump off the walls in lane 3 and 4 from Michael Rosa and Elmer Wang, who have closed the gap considerably as they head into another turn.
And it looks like in lane 3 again, that is Michael Rosa. I think he may have a slight lead right now.
Michael Rosa now on the back half of this men's 200 breaststroke final, the C final, and it is Michael Rosa who touches the wall heading into the final 50 yards. A great 32.76.
Boy, check out lane 5 though. That is Rohan Nagori with a great turn. And it looks like lanes 3 and 5 are at a dead heat right about now. I think Rosa may have the slight lead as they make the final turn.
Rosa does have a slight lead. Who is going to gain the advantage on the turn? It is another solid turn from Rohan Nagori as we are now approaching the final 15 yards. It's going to be close, but it is going to be Michael Rosa from the Academy Bullets clocking in at 206.43. In second from Fox Valley, it is Rohan Nagori with a 207.01 as we head into the B final. At the top of your screen from St. Charles, it's going to be Garrett Prybell in lane 2 from WDST, Kyle Falkstrom in lane number 3. From the Waves Bloomington, it's Thomas Reedy in lane number 4. From Wheaton, Samuel Flessner in lane number 5. From the Mavericks, Jedrick Gamilla in lane number 6. From St. Charles, Nathaniel Baxter in lane number 7. From the Academy Bullets, in fact, a pair of Academy Bullets at the bottom of your screen. In lane 7, Benjamin Guerrero, and in lane 8, Tyler Spillane.
Fastest seed time yet. That will belong to, again, lane 4. Sam Fleshner from Wheaton, 207.77, which is a future standard.
As we are underway here
Wow, did you check out that underwater work? That is lane 6. Nathaniel Baxter, he was underwater pretty much 3/4 of the length.
As they head into their first turn, and it's pretty dead even. In fact, down in lane 8, closest to you on your screen, it's going to be Tyler Spillane, who's out in front through the first 50 yards with a 27.62 50-yard split.
Yeah, great work there by Tyler Spillane from the Academy Bullets.
And the Bullet is off and running as he is going to take the lead into this next turn. But it's pretty even across the board. Out in front, I've got Jedrick Gamilla at lane number 5 and Thomas Reedy in lane number 3. And even in lane number 1 and 2, Garrett Prybell and Kyle Foxstrom through the first 100 yards. This is anybody's race, Jay.
Yeah, it's really close. Again, this is going to come down to the final few yards. There's no doubt about it. Tyler Spillane, I believe, still has a slight lead in lane 8 at the bottom of your screen.
And here we are, lane number 5. It's Jedrick Gamilla from the Mavericks, touching the wall almost simultaneously with Tyler Spillane as they make their turn. Look at the underwater work. And it is, and look at the first 5 lanes are almost essentially
dead even. You are absolutely right, Derek. This is way too close to call at this point.
And touching the wall first, it is Tyler Spillane out in front by 0.4 of a second over Samuel Flessner and Jedrick Gamila in lanes 4 and 5. So the final 50 yards, it's anybody's race.
Very exciting as they hit that final turn. These young men are lunging towards the finish. Again, I can't call it at this point. We're going to have a really, really close finish here, Derek.
The final 15 yards, who's got enough to go ahead and finish? And it does look like Samuel Flessner in lane 4 from Wheaton. A great 33.2 final 50-yard split, posts a time of 2:06.82. In second, it's going to be Kyle Foxstrom with a 2:07.56. And in third, Tyler Spillane, who had a great swim and just couldn't quite seal the deal, but he comes in third. As we now head into the men's 200-yard breaststroke, jump and get up.
That is right, as maybe you can hear some of that intro music for these young men. In this A final, I'm going to go ahead and give you those lane assignments. In lane 3, it will be James Dormal from BRRY. In lane 4, Max Ida from Glenbrook. From the West Swim Club, Nicholas Zito, he's in lane 5. And from the Dunlap Dolphins, it will be Daniel Matlock in lane 6.
Now the meet record was set by Nicholas Zito back in 2017. However, his qualifying time was not the best amongst this A final. That actually goes to Max Ida, who posted a 2:01.99. All of them did post future standard times.
And I guarantee you Max Ida is looking to get that time under 2 minutes and 1 second. Let's see if he can do it.
As we are prepared to start the men's 200-yard breaststroke A final.
Into the water they are.
Look at Nicholas Zito in lane 5.
That is 17, 18, 19 yards of underwater work by this young man. I continue to be amazed by these athletes.
Nicholas Zito had a little bit of tough luck with his sensor in his 50-yard freestyle final. He's in lane 5. He's not messing around through the first 50 yards. He is out in front with a small lead over Max Ida with a 26.94 50-yard split.
And I mentioned this last night. Again, going to mention it again. So impressed by these young athletes. They swim from sun up to sundown, Derek. Again, multiple disciplines, multiple races within sessions. It's just amazing how they're able to quickly turn around and refocus themselves for these races.
And a great turn from Max Ida, who was pulled dead even with Nicholas Zito as we hit the halfway point of this A final. And it is Max Ida out in front who has taken the lead, heading at the halfway point with a 30.45 split.
30.84 was that split from Nicholas Zito. Looks like Max Ida starting to assert himself a little bit here. Let's check that underwater work on this next turn.
One thing I do notice about Nicholas Zito, long and strong, off the walls. But it is Max Ida who looks like he's going to extend his lead heading into the final 50 yards of this A final, posting a 31.05 50-yard split to Nicholas Zito's 31.67.
Wow, check out that turn by Zito, though. He has pulled almost even with Max Ida. Again, looks like another exciting finish.
An exciting finish and an important final turn as we head down the final 25 yards of this men's 200-yard
look at that underwater work. Both of these young men, they are in a dead heat, even sprint. Max Ida just took a peek at Nicholas Zito. Is that going to cost him?
To the wall, it's Nicholas Zito who takes the top spot with a 2-minute flat .21 to Max Ida's 2-minute flat .49, edges him out. Back and forth between Nicholas Zito and Max Ida.
I think Max Ida may be kicking himself just a little bit. I saw him take a peek at Nicholas Zito with about 10 yards to go, and I think it may have thrown him off just enough for Zito to overtake him.
A fantastic time from both gentlemen and a great performance in the A final, but it is Nicholas Zito who takes the top spot of the men's 200-yard breaststroke. Now we got the women's 100-yard backstroke as we're going to go ahead and run down the C final contestants. In lane number 1 at the top of your screen from the Mavericks, Lisa Johnson. In lane number 2 from the Mavericks, her teammate Athena Salafatinos. In lane number 3 from Lion Aquatics, Eleanor McMean. In lane number 4 from St. Charles, Linda Licari. In lane number 5 from St. Charles, her teammate Anna Marga Taba-Ernie. In lane number 6 from the Academy Bullets, Sierra Limbu. In lane number 7 from Hinsdale, Angelina Calculus. In lane number 8 at the bottom of your screen from Fox Valley, Tiffany Ruan. Now, we're looking at the meet record, which is set at 52.56 in 2018 by Grace Areola. The state record set by Olivia Smaliga in 2010 with a 52.44. The national standard set at 53.29. Junior national at 54.49 and futures at 58.09. Now, the best time in this qualifying round was set at 56.91 by Linda Licari, and it does look like she is going to be out in front through the first 50 yards of this C final for the women's 100-yard backstroke.
And these are sprints, so there is no wasted energy by these young athletes. They are going for it, leaving it all out in the pool, being very aggressive. Let's check out these turns.
Final turn, Licari out in front of Salafatinos in lane number 2. Let's keep an eye as it is almost dead even. It looks like Salafatinos in lane 2 with a slight lead. Here is the final 10 yards, hopping into the wall, and a strong push by lane number 5 by Anna Marga Taba-Ernie, but it is Athena Salafatinos for the Mavericks with a 56.44, taking down the C final. Eleanor McMean from Lion Aquatics with a 56.49, and Linda Licari with a 56.63, taking 3rd place. Heading into the B final at the top of your screen from St. Charles, Hannah Pojensky. In lane number 2 from Waves Bloomington, it is Julia Heimstead. In lane number 3 from St. Charles, Mallory Jump. In lane number 4 from NASA Wildcats, it's Carleen Novaline. In lane number 5 from the Academy Bullets, Lindsay Merck. In lane number 6 from Lion Aquatics, Grace Prendergast. In lane number 7 from the Academy Bullets, Catherine Muller. And in lane number 8 at the bottom of your screen from the Patriot Aquatic Club, Sophia Goshina.
Top seed time belongs to Carli Novaline from NASA Wildcat, 56.24. That is a future standard. All of these seed times for these finals are future standards.
This is a competitive women's 100-yard backstroke. As you mentioned, they are all future standards from all finals. As they go into their first turn in lane number 4, it looks like Carli Novaline is out in front for the NASA Wildcats. And here is the midway point, and it's dead even.
Mallory Jump in lane 3.
Between Mallory Jump in lane 3 and Carli Novaline in lane 4.
Boy, I tell you what, though, that is great underwater work. That is lane 6. Prendergast, the Lion Aquatic product, had a great turn.
And here is the final turn of this 100-yard B final for the women's backstroke. And Mallory Jump and Carli Novaline are dead even. Let's see who's going to get the edge. It's Mallory Jump from St. Charles, edging out Carli Novaline by 0.07 of a second with a 55.48. Carli Novaline with a great swim in her own right with a 55.55. And in third, Sophia Goshina with a 55.72. As we now head into the A final for the women's 100-yard backstroke. And we have some more music And here is your contestants for the A final. In lane number 3 at the top of the screen from Waves Bloomington, Anna Poplowski. In lane number 4 from the host, Patriot Aquatic Club, Ashley Carollo. In lane number 5 from St. Charles, Megan Armstrong. And in lane number 6 from Glenbrook, Michelle Canner.
Fastest seed time that will belong to Ashley Carollo from Patriot Aquatic with a 55.36.
Now this A final is like the other A finals that we've seen earlier tonight. We are in for a treat.
I could not agree more, Derek. Again, these A finals have been so hotly contested. It's such a joy to watch these young athletes compete.
It has been a great weekend of action and a lot of dedication from not only the contestants in the water, but the parents, the coaches, all the volunteers here at Stevenson High School as we are just about to get underway in this women's 100-yard backstroke A final. And there is the start. And great underwater work from lane number 5, Megan Armstrong from St. Charles.
Off to a great start is Megan Armstrong. Again, she was about half length through the pool before she popped up.
And here's the opening turn. And great underwater work from Ashley Carollo on that first turn. But it is going to be Megan Armstrong at the halfway point, posting an opening split of 26.47. She's out in front by 0.4 of a second over Ashley Carollo in lane 4.
This final turn is going to be a difference maker, though, Derek. Let's see who pops up first. And just as I thought, that is lane 3, Anna Poplowski. Great underwater work, but again, lane 5.
It's going to be Megan Armstrong to touch the wall first. She was in front from wire to wire, posting a 54.40. Ashley Carollo from Patriot Aquatic Club with a 55.01 takes second, and Anna Poplowski from Waves Bloomington with a solid swim at 55.43. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Michelle Canner, who posted a 55.81 in that A final. And that'll do it for the women's 100-yard backstroke. As we move into the men's 100-yard backstroke, as we are going to go ahead and run down the C final of swimmers. In lane number 1 at the top of your screen from the Academy Bullets, Diego Pereira. In lane number 2 from the Patriot Aquatic Club, Anthony Carollo. In lane number 3 from Fox, Brian Doherty. In lane number 4 from the Academy Bullets, William Raitt. In lane number 5 from SSSC, Jack Wyke. In lane number 6 from Glenbrook, Jacob Shapiro. In lane number 7 from West Swim Club, Nolan Lehman. And in lane number 8 at the bottom of your screen, Andy Ritzma from BNSC. And we are underway here in this men's 100-yard backstroke. Great start from all the gentlemen. They are almost dead even as they head into the first turn.
Yep, again, and these are dead sprints, Derek. No wasted energy. They're going for it, chopping that water, pounding those arms against that surface, trying to gain as much speed as possible.
And heading into the halfway point, hitting the wall first is actually going to be Diego Pereira up in lane number 1, but it's anybody's race. Now, the meet record set back in 2018 with a 47.23. And we'll get through the rest of the numbers as we head down the final 15 yards. It is still anybody's race. Down in lane number 6, Jacob Shapiro is going to touch the wall first for Glenbrook with a 51.20 and a great split of 26.21 to close out the C final. Brian Doherty from Fox with a 51.82 as we move into the B final from the Wolfpack. In lane number 1 at the top of your screen is Seth Miller from the Peoria Water Wizards. It's Simeon Rinkenberger in lane number 3 from Fox, Ayush Deshpande. In lane number 4 from St. Charles, William Meyer, his teammate from St. Charles. In lane number 5, Calvin Wendell. In lane number 6 from the Mavericks, Grant Boshensky. In lane number 7 from Hinsdale, Kareem Batar. In closest at the bottom of your screen from the Palatine Park District, Mark Carter Buckman. And that's the B final. Now here the meet record set, I already mentioned the meet record. Now the Illinois State record set at 47.08 in 2016 by Daniel Hine. The national standard 46.79. The junior national standard 49.69. The future standard at 52.09. All gentlemen in this B final clocked in for the future standard. It was William Meyer with the best qualifying time at 50.84, as they are now heading to the halfway point of this 100-yard men's backstroke B final.
That's lane 5, Calvin Wendell from St. Charles at the halfway point with a slight lead.
And you understand why when you saw the great wall work there on the 50-yard turn as they hit the wall for the final turn of this B final.
Calvin Wendell, great underwater work. That is lane 5. He's going to push to the finish. Let's check that time. Will it be sub 50?
Calvin Wendell with a beautiful run, and he clocks in at a blistering 50.44 to take the B final. Coming in second, Ayush Despandi from Fox with a 51.90, and in third, Grant Boshensky from the Mavericks with a 51.94, as we now head into the A final for the men's 100-yard backstroke. In lane number 3, who's already had himself a fantastic night from the host, Patriot Aquatic Club, Topher Stensby. In lane number 4, from West Chicago, the man who is just a machine in the water, it's Nicholas Vance. In lane number 5, from Glenbrook, Ryan Purdy. And in lane number 6, at the bottom of your screen, from the Wolfpack, Tadzio Kirka.
Boy, again, we're going to continue to mention Nicholas Vance, again, one of the superstars of these 2019 swimming championships. Derek, he's got a shot to have a meet record here. We're going to check it out.
Absolutely does. He qualified for junior national standard, as did Ryan Purdy, who's going to be right next to him in lane 5. 49.01 for Nicholas Vance in the qualifying heat. Purdy posted a 49.18. This is a talented A final.
Yeah, all of these young men, again, Purdy, Vance, Stensby, and Tadzio Kirka, again, these young men are just beasts in the water. They're going to make this a really interesting final.
One thing I always notice, Nicholas Vance doesn't wear that cap. Kind of stands out a little bit to me. Easy to spot in the pool.
Yeah, Nicholas Vance, he doesn't need hair.
Right?
No need for a wave cap from Nicholas Vance.
And we're about to get underway here in the men's 100-yard backstroke A final. As we are off and running, or off and swimming. And look at the underwater work from every single contestant in this A final. And it's going to be almost dead even across the board, but it does look like Nicholas Vance and Purdy are out in front by a small margin.
Look at that underwater work halfway down the pool, Nicholas Vance. That's where he wins races. He wins races off of his turns. Let's check it out again.
As he is ahead at the halfway point with a 23.51 50-yard split. It's actually Topher Stensby in second. Great underwater work, as you mentioned. Let's check out the final turn.
Again, I'm going to say it. Nicholas Vance, he's got a chance to set a record here. Let's check it out.
Nicholas Vance with another great turn. He is out in front. A strong finish here from Ryan Purdy trying to make it interesting. They dive into the wall, and it is Nicholas Vance with a 48.70. And that is it's not a meet record, but
pretty close.
It's a fantastic time nonetheless. In second is Ryan Purdy from Glenbrook with a 49.25. In third, Tadzio Kirka with a 50.04. And in fourth, Topher Stensby with an incredibly respectable 50.14.
Yeah, again, Nicholas Vance continues to shine at these 2019 Illinois Swimming Championships. As right now, we're going to take a break. We're going to have our awards ceremonies for the 100-yard backstroke and the 200-yard breaststroke, men and women. Then we're going to come back with event number 21, the women's 500-yard freestyle.
That was the award ceremony as we are now back at the 2019 Illinois Swimming Senior Championships here in Stevenson High School as we're about to jump into the C final for the women's 500-yard freestyle. Let's go ahead and run down the contestants in the top of your screen. In lane number 1 from the Academy Bullets, Lauren Payton. In lane number 2 from Delta, Jessica Davis. In lane number 3 from the Mavericks, Carli Frankowiak.
That's what I'm here for, partner.
There we go. From the Flying Fish, it's in lane number 4, it's Aaron Long. In lane number 5 from the Wolfpack, Madison Schimmel. In lane number 6 from Wheaton, Caroline Zimner. In lane number 7 from the Mavericks, Samantha Weigel. And in lane number 8 from St. Charles, at the bottom of your screen, Paige Armstrong.
And I want to quick mention all of the viewers on YouTube watching the event right now. We appreciate your support for not only our broadcast, but the swimmers competing. So thank you very much for watching.
Hey, without your support, we wouldn't be here being
Absolutely.
able to give you this great contest and great senior championships here at Stevenson High School, hosted by the Patriot Aquatic Club. As we are about to jump into the women's 500-yard freestyle. Now the meet record set back in 2014 by Kirsten Jacobson. In fact, the Illinois state record was set at this meet at that very swim with a 4:42.31. Now the national standard set at 4:43.79. Junior national standard 4:48.09, and the future standard at 5:03.49. Now, because we already mentioned the qualifying time for this meet was 5:13.59. And we already kind of ran down what the C final is going to look like. Now, this 500-yard freestyle, Jay, got to pace yourself.
Absolutely. These are not sprints. These are the longer distances, and you will actually see throughout the race maybe teammates or volunteers at the other end of the pool. What they do is they have a card with a number on it, and they'll put it in the water as the swimmers approach that turn to let them know where they're at in the race so they can keep in mind how many turns they have to make. So it's basically counting the turns for these swimmers to keep them on track.
Sort of like an in-pool mile marker.
Exactly.
As we are about to get underway here in this C final.
Into the water these young women go. Again, this is event 21, the women's 500-yard freestyle.
As we head into the first turn at the 25-yard mark, as you already do see on your screen, some of the folks holding some of those signs to put into the water. As we are now approaching the 50-yard mark, and you do see a lot of the volunteers, coaches on the sideline, whether they're making noise or whether they're waving their hands up and down. Now you can, and when you're in the pool, you can actually see and hear some of those signs that they're making on the outside of the pool.
Yeah, again, not as loud as maybe in the preliminaries in the earlier session, but these coaches, again, cheering these young swimmers on. Now, I want to mention this as well. 500 yards, right? Distance, discipline. So you're not going to see too much choppy water using their legs as much because, again, they are going to pace themselves to push themselves in the final turns of the race to fight for that finish.
Through the first 100 yards, it's Madison Schimmel in lane number 5 out in front with a 30.15 50-yard split on her most recent trip and lap around the pool. As they make their turn, it is still Madison Schimmel out in front with an early lead as we're about to approach the 150-yard mark of the 500-yard C final for the women's 500-yard freestyle.
So again, let's look at Madison Schimmel, right? Of course, freestyle, she's going to use her arms and head, but check out the minimal movement from her legs, right? Again, you want to save those legs for the back half, back third of the race.
They all head into, in fact, it's Madison Schimmel, and then the rest of the field is essentially even across the board as they, like you mentioned, they are pacing themselves. Not a lot of activity. Do see up in lane 1 quite a bit of water in the wake of Lauren Payton, who's starting to use the legs, trying to catch, make a little bit of ground up. It is still Madison Schimmel out in front for the first 200 yards with a 30.62 50-yard split.
And very important for Madison Schimmel and whoever's in the lead to just keep that rhythm, right? You don't want to lose focus because you're out in front. Sometimes with these young swimmers, I think they may have a tendency to again, maybe slow down a little bit because you're not necessarily aware of who's around you. So, again, very important for Madison Schimmel. Just to remain in rhythm.
And Madison Schimmel at the halfway point at 228.98. She's still out in front by a couple of lengths on the field. And the rest of the field, it's still anybody's race to really make a move late because no one has really fallen too far behind as they go into the wall on the back around the 275-yard mark. It was actually Aaron Long from the Flying Fish that posted the best qualifying time at 5:04.59 as they now hit the 300-yard mark. Madison Schimmel still out in front. In second, it's essentially a three-way tie between Lauren Payton in lane 1, Jessica Davis in lane 2, and Caroline Zimner in lane 6.
Yeah, agreed. Madison Schimmel is starting to pull away slightly here from the field, and you're also starting to see her use those legs a little bit more.
She has now extended her lead to about 3 lengths, I would say, as we're about to hit the 350-yard mark of this 500-yard C final for the women's 500-yard freestyle. And a 30.34 50-yard split there from Madison Schimmel as she seems to be getting stronger as this race is going on. Like you said, she's starting to burn the legs a little bit.
Yep. Separating herself from the field. Again, it's just important for her to keep her rhythm. Her split times have been pretty consistent, right around 30 seconds.
In fact, she posted the best 50-yard split on that 350-leg turn. Now they're about to hit the 400-yard mark. Final 100 yards for Madison Schimmel. In second, in lane 3, it's Carli Frankowiak from the Mavericks, and she posted a 29.79 30-yard split. She's trying to make a move here through the final 100 yards.
Boy, I tell you what, Madison Schimmel, she has got a chance to set some standards here. She is having a phenomenal race.
And Madison Schimmel way out in front, and she's getting that bell, the final 50 yards. She touches up a 30.13 on that 50-yard split. She's out in front of Carli Frankowiak by 4 seconds. It's really her racing against herself in this C final as she approaches her final turn. Let's see what she has left in the legs.
Can Madison Schimmel, can she get sub 5 minutes? We're going to find out these final 10 yards.
Oh, I think she's going to get under the 5-minute mark as she is about to approach the wall. She touches in at 4:59.08. Great time from Madison Schimmel. And it's in second place. It's going to be from the Mavericks with a 5:03.90, Carli Frankowiak. As we head into the B final now. At the top of your screen from the Academy Bullets, it's going to be Sydney Kelly. In lane number 2 from the Wolfpack, it's going to be Abby Tott. In lane number 3 and 4, a pair of teammates from BRRY. In lane 3, it's Catherine Morris. And in lane number 4, it's Molly Rosenthal. In lane number 5, from WDST.
Woodstock,
thank you. Peyton Lange. In lane number 6, from Fox Valley, Kristen Steggy. In lane number 7, from Wheaton, Holly Wessel. And in lane number 8 at the bottom of your screen from the Academy Bullets, Gina Jenkins.
I want to mention the national standards, junior national and future standards. National standard 443.79, junior national standard 448.09, and the future standard is 5 minutes, 3 seconds, and almost a half a second.
Now posting the best time in the qualifying round was Molly Rosenthal with a 4:58.58. They all hit the future standard with the exception of Gina Jenkins, who just missed that mark.
And I would wager Gina Jenkins will get that future standard in this final as well.
Oh, I don't doubt it whatsoever. She's a talented young swimmer for the Academy Bullets. As they're through the first 50 yards, out in front is actually Kristen Steggy.
Lane 6.
With a 26.38 opening 50-yard split.
And again, I must mention, if you're wondering, or if you're thinking, maybe you're watching at home, well, gee, I thought I heard Kristen Steggy's name early in the race. That's because you did. Again, I have to mention that these young athletes, quick turnarounds, have to refocus themselves. It is just so impressive how they're able to perform in these swimming championships.
You would think after being, as they just hit the 100-yard mark, and it is still Kristen Steggy out in front with a 29.53 50-yard split, closely trailed by Peyton Lange in lane 5 right next to her. But you did mention that they're competing in multiple events in a 500-yard freestyle. This is a long, like you said, distance, long race after doing sprints.
Yep.
I mean, it's incredible what they're able to do and how well they're able to perform, given that they're having to compete at the highest level just earlier tonight.
Yeah, and we mentioned it before, a lot of that has to do with the support system that they have. The parents, the coaches, the volunteers at the different locations, they give these young athletes every opportunity to succeed in what they do.
And it is about to approach the 200-yard mark. It's Peyton Lange in lane 5, out in front with a small lead over Kristen Steggy. In lane number 2, also Abby Tott from the Wolfpack in 3rd place, as we are just now at the 200-yard mark of this women's 500-yard freestyle B final. We do have the A final on the docket, and then the men's 500-yard freestyle coming your way, and then we'll wrap things up with the 400-yard medley relay later tonight.
And this is when you start to see these swimmers start to use those legs more. Chopping that water, pounding the water in front with their hands, and again, trying to build that speed into these final turns.
You see Peyton Lange starting to use her legs. You see the strategy, though, with Kristen Steggy not using the legs, trying to save those legs for potentially later in the matches. They just hit the halfway point. It is Peyton Lange still out in front, posting another solid 50-yard split at 30.28.
Let's keep an eye on lane 2, though. That is Abby Totti from the Wolfpack. She has definitely gotten herself in the mix, and it looks like she may have just the slightest lead at this point.
She's in second, right on the heels of Peyton Lange. From Woodstock, it's Peyton Lange at the 300-yard mark, still out in front, but like you mentioned, Abby Tott starting to make a push up in lane 2. And don't count out Kristen Steggy, who is in 3rd place, but right in the mix as they go into their turn down the back half of this 500-yard women's freestyle B final.
Kristen Steggy starting to fall off the pace a little bit
as they hit the 350-yard mark, and you still see some great wall work there from Peyton Lange, but it's Abby Tott with a 30.04, besting Peyton Lange on that 50-yard split by 0.2 of a second.
Peyton Lange got about half a body length lead now over her nearest competitor. Again, that is lane 2, Abby Totti from the Wolfpack.
So they're about to hit the 400-yard mark.
That was a great turn by Abby Totti.
And it looks like they're going to go into the turn for the final 100 yards. Almost dead even. In fact, it's only a 0.1 of a second lead now for Peyton Lange. Abby Totti starting to turn on the jets. You see the water behind her starting to kick up as she's starting to burn those legs.
Does Abby Totti have enough in the tank to catch Peyton Lange? That was another great turn by Abby Totti in lane 2.
Abby Totti, they're about to come right in front of us, and it is Abby Totti that is out in front. She touches the wall at 4:26.93. She's out in front of Peyton Lange by 0.4 of a second. But what do they have left in the tank? It's the final 50 yards of this B final for the women's 500-yard freestyle.
They approach that final turn. I can't tell who's out in the lead right now, Derek.
Abby Totti and Peyton Lange battling down the stretch. It's the final 10 yards, about to dive into the wall.
I think it's Totti.
It's going to be close. It is Abby Totti.
Wow.
By 100th of a second. 4:55.50 for Abby Totti, and Peyton Lange with a 4:55.51.
An amazing performance by Abby Totti. She did not get off to a good start at all, but again, it's all about how you finish in these distance races. She was able to build into those turns, and it does not get any closer than that for a finish.
Fantastic, and Kristen Steggy coming in third with a 4:59.99, and here we are. It's the A final for the women's 500-yard freestyle. And again, we're going to see a couple of familiar names and a couple new ones in this A final. In lane number 3 at the top of your screen from Waves Bloomington, it's Elliott Kennedy. In lane number 4 from Fox Valley, it's Rachel Steggy. She is one heck of a swimmer for the Fox Valley Aquatics team. In lane number 5 from the Academy Bullets, Kaylee Lovell. And in lane number 6 at the bottom of your screen, the second Waves Bloomington contestant in this A final, and Julia Heimstead. The top time posted in qualifiers from this A final group Rachel Steggy with 4:51.96. They all hit future standards.
I'm looking for Rachel Steggy to go sub 450.
There's no doubt that she has it in her as they are off and running. This women's A final for the 500-yard freestyle.
Now, as these ladies are in the water, I'm a little bit surprised that in lane 6, Heimstead using her legs a little earlier. Maybe her strategy is to try to get off to a hot start.
It is Rachel Steggy who is out in front comfortably with a great opening 50-yard split, 25.5 or .33. The rest of the field essentially even, a slight edge to Carli Lovell from the Academy Bullets in second place. But you see Rachel Steggy early getting into a rhythm.
Yeah, Rachel Steggy, another standout in these 2019 swimming championships. She's got about a body length lead now. First 100 yards. Let's check that split time.
Check the split time, and great wall work, consistent from Rachel Steggy, 28.12 on that 50-yard split. In second place, it's Elliott Kennedy from Waves Bloomington with a 28.83 50-yard split. But Rachel Steggy has found her happy place, and she continues to be consistent in and out of her turns.
Smooth, very steady is Rachel Steggy. Again, it's all about consistency with her as she approaches another split. 28.91, I believe, is that time.
Yeah, 28.91. Elliott Kennedy with a solid 29.24 50-yard split. She's in clear second, where it's pretty close between Carli Lovell and Julia Heimstead for third place. Still Rachel Steggy out in front as we're about to approach the 200-yard mark. Steady goes it. You see that she's not burning the legs whatsoever. You did mention earlier that Elliott Kennedy, though, you see a little bit of leg work a little bit early in this 500-yard freestyle, but she's really the only one that's even close to Rachel Steggy at this early juncture of the 500-yard freestyle A final.
Yeah, Rachel Steggy starting to widen that lead just a little bit, maybe a body length and a half lead over her nearest competitor, but that was a great turn by Elliott Kennedy at the top of your screen in lane 3.
And I believe we're about to hit the halfway point of this 500-yard freestyle for the women. The A final. 29.36 50-yard split for Steggy, 29.74 for Elliott Kennedy. And Rachel Steggy.
Yeah, she's starting to distance herself now, Derek. Again, racing against yourself is just important to keep your focus on what you're doing. Not worry about any of these other swimmers. As long as you handle your business, it looks like she's going to win this race comfortably, but still a lot of time left.
A lot of time left. 29.38 on her most recent 50-yard split. Elliott Kennedy has been sub 30 seconds on most of her 50-yard splits. It's just that Rachel Steggy is in a rhythm right now. It seems like she's trying to best her time from the qualifiers, which was at a blistering 4:51.96. Again, the meet record set at 4:42.31. I would not be shocked to see Rachel Steggy get under the 4:50 mark.
Yeah, I wouldn't as well. I'm definitely looking for her to go sub 450. She's well on her way.
29.33 on her most recent 50-yard split. Elliott Kennedy still having a great swim in her own right. 29.97 on her most recent 50-yard split. In third place, it's Julia Heimstead. And in fourth, it's Carli Lovell. Right now, this is Rachel Steggy's race.
And she's not even started to use her legs yet, Derek. This is so impressive by this Fox Valley product.
There you see that aggressive turn. You did see a little bit of leg action from Rachel Steggy. And it's Elliott Kennedy over the 30-second mark with a 30.20 on that 50-yard split. 29.07. Seems like Rachel Steggy is starting to turn on the jets.
Yeah, just a little bit here. Again, she's having a dominating performance, widening that lead now. About 3 lengths body over Elliott Kennedy.
At the 400-yard mark for Rachel Steggy. Actually, there's actually a 50 yards, excuse me. She is down the home stretch. Here is Elliott Kennedy into the wall for her final 50 yards. It's really Rachel Steggy against herself, trying to get that sub 450 mark. She hits the final turn, 4:35 on the clock currently. She's got about 15 yards left to go. Let's see what she's got left in the tank.
She's going to get it. She's sub 450.
She's definitely sub 450. She may be sub 445. 4:45.40. Again, just to put it in perspective, the meet record and the state record at 4:42.31. That's flirting with national time.
Yeah.
She was junior national time easily there, but flirting with national time at 4:43.79. It is Elliott Kennedy who comes in second at 4:53.28. For Waves Bloomington in third. Her teammate from Waves Bloomington with a 4:56.52 was Julia Heimstead. And in fourth, Kaylee Lovell from the Academy Bullets with a 4:56.87. Now we head into the men's 500-yard freestyle in this C final. We'll start at the top of your screen in lane number 1 from the Academy Bullets, Benjamin Kimmel. In lane number 2 from West Chicago, Patrick White. In lane number 3 from BRRY, James Dormal. In lane number 4 from St. Charles, Alexei Filipovich. In lane number 5 from Hinsdale, Jay Jensen. In lane number 6 from Wheaton, Samuel Flessner. In lane number 7 from New Trier Aquatics, Benjamin Dukes. And we're waiting on one of the alternates, I believe.
Yeah, I believe we'll have an alternate here. Those alternates are Connor Doon from West Swim Club and Brendan Long from the Flying Fish.
Now, just to give you some idea, now actually it looks like there's going to be no contestant in lane 8. So the C final is only going to have 7 contestants. So Benjamin Dukes is down in lane 7 at the bottom of your screen. Now, the meet record set back in 2009 by Burke Sims with a 4:28.12. The Illinois record set by Reed Malone with 4:17.42. The national standard set at 4:19.39. The junior national standard, 4:28.29, and the future standard at 4:37.09. The qualifying time for this meet, 4:51.89, as the gentlemen have now completed their first 50 yards, and it's going to be Alexei Filipovich with the fastest 50-yard split to open things up at 24.50.
Some great underwater work, though. That is lane 7. Again, Benjamin Dukes from New Trier Aquatics. He is off to a great start as well.
The 3 middle lanes seem to have jumped out in front, but it is Alexei Filipovich with a slight lead at the 100-yard mark. In lane 5, Jay Jensen right on his heels from Hinsdale. And actually in lane number 7, down at the bottom of your screen, Benjamin Dukes now pulling even with a great turn for New Trier Aquatics.
And again, these are the distance races, so you won't see a whole lot of aggressive kicking in this first half of the race. Pacing themselves, making sure they don't burn out in the back half, reserving that energy for an explosive finish.
At the 150-yard mark, down on the bottom of your screen, Benjamin Dukes is in front through the first 150 yards, and he seems to be burning out of those turns and has found himself a nice rhythm here through the first 150.
Yeah, Benjamin Dukes popped up out of that water after the flags about 10, 11 yards. Again, he is making up a lot of ground with that underwater work. And you can see Benjamin Dukes, sorry there, Derek, he's staying on the outside lane, right? He can see his nearest competitor to his left at this point, so he doesn't want that speed getting drafted from him. He's going to stay on the outside.
It is Benjamin Dukes in lane 7 out in front. Jay Jensen only trailing him by a 1/10 of a second in lane number 5. And in third, I believe in lane number 3 is James Dormal from BRRY as they now approach the turn. They're about to hit the 250-yard halfway point of this C final for the men's 500-yard freestyle. And it does look like in lane 5, Jay Jensen has now taken a slight lead over Benjamin Dukes in lane 7 at the midway point.
But again, I have to mention that underwater work by Benjamin Dukes. That is where he's making up a lot of ground and keeping himself in this race.
Benjamin Dukes has been back and forth between second and first throughout the first 250. Now it is Jay Jensen and lane number 3, James Dormal, starting to make a move now. He's clearly in second. He's had himself a great 50-yard split as he is now in clear second. Well, not clear, but right next to Benjamin Dukes. It's still Jay Jensen out in front with a nice 28.92 on that 50-yard split. We're at the 300-yard mark, the final 200 yards. And this is where I kind of want to keep an eye on who starts to use the legs to try to make an aggressive move. I normally wait till around the last 100-yard mark, but we are about to hit the 350-yard mark. James Dormal has now taken the lead, a ever so slight lead over Jay Jensen. Actually, they hit the wall identical, and it's in third place down in lane 7. Still hanging around is Benjamin Dukes.
Yeah, Benjamin Dukes, again, like you said, hanging around there, maybe playing a little possum a little bit, to use a cliche term there, to have a strong finish.
It has been James Dormal, though, who was, I think, playing. I mean, he got off to a slow start, but you can see him now starting to use the legs as they hit the 400-yard mark, and he has created a little bit of a lead and distance between him and Jay Jensen.
Yeah, Jay Jensen, though, right at his hip. As you can see now, these swimmers are starting to use their legs a little more, building that momentum into the turns to increase their speed.
And it is James Dormal, another burning turn. And I'm looking at Benjamin Dukes down in lane 7. He's still not really using his legs yet. Final 50 yards. Now is the time to go ahead and hit the gas. It's James Dormal with a 28.53 50-yard split. He's out in front. It's essentially even between Jay Jensen in lane 5 and Benjamin Dukes in lane 7. Here's the final turn.
BRRY product, James Dormal. Looks like it might be his race to win, Derek.
James Dormal starting to pull away on this final 25 yards. He's going to go ahead and take this C final. It's a battle for second, and it's going to be Benjamin Dukes who clocks in second, Jay Jensen in third. James Dormal with a time of 4:40.97 takes the C final for the men's 500-yard freestyle. Benjamin Dukes with a 4:42.14, and Jay Jensen in third with a 4:42.28. Moving on to the B final for the men's 500-yard freestyle. The top of your screen in lane number 1 from St. Charles, Richard Williams. In lane number 2 from Fox Valley, Lucas Conrads. In lane number 3 from Lion Aquatics, Michael Flynn. In lane number 4 from the Dumlat Dolphins, William Boley. In lane number 5 from Wheaton, Trevor Carter. In lane number 6 from BRRY, Nicholas Andreas. In lane number 7 from the Academy Bullets, Austin Millard. And in lane number 8 at the bottom of your screen from Wheaton, Andrew Dye.
Future standards from William Boley and Trevor Carter. 4:34.93 for Boley, 4:36.74 for Trevor Carter. And I'm looking for William Boley to go sub 4:34. Possibly sub 4:30. We'll see.
A great jump in lane 1 to start off the blocks from St. Charles. Richard Williams at the top of your screen as they go into their opening turn of this 500-yard men's freestyle B final. And through the first 50 yards, it is going to be Richard Williams in lane number 1 out in front, barely edging out William Boley. Actually, it says they clocked in at the exact same 24.13 opening split.
Yeah, they are carving up some water here in these first 75 to 100 yards. A great start by these young men.
Yeah, across the board, everybody with a solid start as William Boley and Richard Williams are out in front. It does look like there's a slight advantage in lane 1 at the top of your screen is actually William Boley with a solid turn, though, 26.67. He's out in front by 0.02 of a second.
Yeah, William Boley, again with a great turn there. Hopefully he's saving himself, though. Again, this is a distance race. You don't want to burn yourself out too quickly. You want to have those energy reserves for the final 100, 150 yards to bring it home to the finish.
Well, the first 150 yards, William Boley is now out in front and has extended a small lead over Richard Williams in lane number 1. And you mentioned it was William Boley who posted the best qualifying time of this B final at 4:34.93. And William Boley is now starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm now and creating a little bit of distance between him and the field.
Yeah, that's William Boley in lane 4. Got to keep an eye above him, though. That is lane 2, Lucas Conrads from Fox Valley. And in lane 1, Richard Williams from St. Charles.
In lanes 3 and 6 as well, Michael Flynn from Lions Aquatics and Nicholas Andreas from BRRY also starting to get in the mix for that second position. But right now it is William Boley comfortably out in front as we are about to approach the halfway point of this B final for the men's 500 freestyle.
Yeah, William Boley a body length lead now as he goes into another turn. Again, he is starting to separate himself just a little bit, and we have 1, 2, 3 swimmers in a group for second place at this point. That is lane 6.
2 and 3 seem to be Lucas Conrads, Michael Flynn, and Nicholas Andreas. But it is William Boley as he's now going to go ahead and hit the halfway point of this men's 500 freestyle B final. And you look at, he's getting a lot of lift off his turns. I mean, a great dolphin kick underwater. You don't see a ton of distance on these freestyle turns underwater, but he still seems to be consistent and has found himself a nice rhythm.
Yeah, and as you can see now, he's starting to use those legs a little bit more. Again, back half of the race, you want to have that energy saved up to have a strong, strong finish.
And on his most recent 50-yard split, a 28.45, but Nicholas Andreas in lane 6 with a 28.02 on that 50-yard
He's made up a lot of ground.
It seems like he is the one that is possibly going to make this a little bit more interesting down the final 200 yards. It is still William Boyle out in front for the Dunlap Dolphins. In lane number 2, also keep an eye on Lucas Conrads from Fox Valley.
Yeah, a lot of race left here. Again, for William Boyle, he just wants to stay focused. But look at lane 6. Nicholas Andres from BRRY making up a lot of ground on those turns.
Yeah, he shaved another 0.4 of a second off of that last 50-yard split. Now, Boyle has created himself a decent lead, and he may be coasting and trying to save the gas for the backstretch, but Nicholas Andreas has made things interesting. The final 50 yards, here we go. William Boyle with a 28.33 50-yard split. Andreas made up a little bit more time, but is it going to be enough?
He's got to make his move, does Nicholas Andres in lane 6 if you want to have a chance to win this race. Final turn here from William Boyle.
A solid turn there from William Boyle.
As he starts to use those legs, powering his way to the finish. Last 10 yards here.
Last 10 yards, B final for the men's 500-yard freestyle. It is going to be William Boyle. In second place, it is going to be Nicholas Andreas, barely holding off Lucas Conrads in lane number 2. So top time from William Boyle, 4:34.20. Nicholas Andreas with a 4:35.78, and Lucas Conrads with a 4:36 flat. And that'll do it for the B final as we move into the A final. The last final individual final for your finals for this Saturday night slate of action at the 2019 Illinois Swimming Senior Championships. Your field for the men's 500-yard freestyle A final. In lane number 3 at the top of your screen from the Academy Bullets, William Raitt. In lane number 4 from Wheaton, Liam Hutchinson. In lane number 5 from Fox Valley, Ayush Deshpande. And lane number 6 at the bottom of your screen, his teammate from Fox Valley, Jack Hiss. Now, the top time was posted for the qualifiers. Now, they all made future standards. It was actually Liam Hutchinson, though, with a 4:26.86, who qualified for Junior Nationals.
Yeah, Liam Hutchinson, another standout superstar in these 2019 Illinois Swimming Championships. Again, that Junior National standard he set was 4:26.86, and that is currently a meet record.
Correct.
Held previously by Burke Sims in 2009 with a 4:28.12. I'm actually looking for Liam Hutchinson to go sub 4:25 tonight.
Liam Hutchinson. Now, the rest of the field, the best time in qualifiers was posted outside of Liam Hutchinson by Ayush Deshpande with a 4:31.80. And he actually had himself a great opening day in the 1,000-yard freestyle.
Yes, he
for the
did.
men. So we're going to go ahead and take a look as we are now underway of this A final for the men's 500-yard freestyle. And the first turn for the gentlemen, it's essentially even across the board as we are approaching the 50-yard mark. We're going to take a look at the splits once they touch the wall. It does look like a slight advantage for Jack Hiss from Fox Valley down at the bottom of your screen. He is out in front by a 1/10 of a second over Liam Hutchinson, a 24.10 for Jack Hiss on that opening 50-yard split.
Yeah, and again, the strategies may be different for different swimmers, right? Some swimmers obviously may want to get off to a fast start to sort of pace themselves and keep pace with the rest of the field. On the other hand, you have guys like maybe a Liam Hutchinson or a and I'm blanking on his name now, Nicholas Vance, as it comes to me a little late. Late starters by Nicholas Vance, but again, he builds into the race and ends up dominating by the end. So different strategies for different swimmers, but again, it's not how you start, it's definitely how you finish.
as they are now heading into the 150-yard mark. It does look like Liam Hutchinson is out in front with a slight lead, as he's going to go ahead and touch the wall with a 26.66 on that 50-yard split. In second, it is Jack Hiss down in lane 6, followed tightly by his teammate over at Fox Valley, Ayush Jaspandi, in lane number 5. And a great turn there, and it seems that Liam Hutchinson from Wheaton is now starting to find his rhythm. And we mentioned that it was what he posted in qualifiers was a meet record. We want to see what he can do to improve upon his qualifying time. Another blistering 26.86 on that 50-yard split at the 200-yard mark.
That was a great turn, though. That is in lane 6, Jack Hiss from Fox Valley.
As they approach the turn, it is Jack Hiss in second place with William Raitt at the top. Actually, at the top of your screen, William Raitt has actually taken second place. My humble apologies. It's still Liam Hutchinson out in front by a body length as we approach the 200-yard mark, the 26.97. It's Liam Hutchinson out in front for Wheaton.
Yeah, Liam Hutchinson, again, one of the standouts here, and it's all about keeping a rhythm for him. Again, he knows he's pretty fast, right? So I think his objective, again, is stay focused, stay in the middle of that lane. You don't want to give the other swimmers a chance to draft from you at all. Keep your rhythm, keep your focus, and maintain that lead.
At the 300-yard mark, it's Liam Hutchinson with another solid 50-yard split with 26.96. Now, when you're aware that you can set a meet record, though,
yep,
and you're out in front of the field, you can kind of feel that you found your rhythm, but does it start to creep into your mind that, hey, I want to go ahead and knock this out of the park? How does that play with your head? Do you want to just stay in rhythm, or do you want to say, I'm going for this?
Yeah, I think if you're these young athletes, I think you go for it, right? I mean, listen, you want to be, at least in my opinion, I would think these athletes would want to be as dominant as possible to again, not only just win your race, but break records, right? You want to get that national recognition and state recognition.
And it is Liam Hutchinson who is in clear control as we approach the 350-yard mark of this A final for the men's 500-yard freestyle.
Yeah, separating himself now
quite a bit. In second place, it is William Raitt at the top. Well, actually, it's dead even for second place between Jack Hiss and William Raitt. In fact, it is Jack Hiss down at the bottom of your screen in second from Fox Valley. But the story in this A final is Liam Hutchinson as we're about to hit and now actually they're bringing out the bell. So somewhere I lost 50 yards, but we're about to get the 50-yard bell. 50 yards remaining. Liam Hutchinson touches the wall for the final 50 with 358.42, a split of 26.65. What does he have left in the tank to go ahead and try to break 425?
I think he can do it, Derek.
A great turn. His final turn of this A final for the 500-yard men's freestyle.
Dominating performance, Liam Hutchinson. Let's check that time. It's sub 425.
It's definitely sub 425. 424 flat for Liam Hutchinson from Wheaton. And to give you an idea, that is a new meet record by a landslide.
Congratulations. An amazing performance by Liam Hutchinson.
In second, it's going to be William Raitt with a 430.96 from the Academy Bullets. In third, Jack Hiss from Fox Valley with a 433.57. And in fourth, Ayush Jaspandi with a 440.90. And that'll do it for the individual finals here on this third day of the 2019 Illinois 2019 Illinois Swimming Senior Championships. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick touch up on at Athletico. Our physical therapists help people overcome pain and discomfort and get back to doing the things that they love to do. So if you're experiencing any aches or pains, visit athletico.com to request your free assessment and start feeling better today. Athletico is proud to be the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training for Illinois Swimming. Athletico Physical Therapy, better for everybody. And look, we have a fantastic crew. And again, thank you for anybody that's joining us on YouTube and really all the support that's made this a fantastic 2019 Illinois Swimming Senior Championships through the first 3 days. We do have one more day of action coming at you tomorrow, and I want to thank the crew alongside me, of course, Jay Pfeiffer, Estaquio Mendez, Chloe Small, Will Castile, and Scobie Nati. Done a fantastic job. You've been there every time I've needed you. When I mispronounce something, it's been you've been Johnny on the spot, Jay.
Well, listen, again, it's exciting to be here. It's exciting to announce these races and these events with you. And you mentioned the names. We have an amazing crew here that's making this webcast possible. Again, I want to personally thank the Patriot Aquatic Club, Stevenson High School here in Lincolnshire, Illinois. They've been amazing hosts, an amazing facility here at Stevenson High School, and they have just been outstanding, supportive to us, the crew here, and not only the swimmers, but again, us, the crew, giving us pretty much everything we want here, making us as comfortable as possible to make these 2019 Illinois Swimming Championships and a great experience, not only for us, but hopefully for you viewers at home.
I would be remiss if we didn't bring up Pam Lowenthal, the Director of Operations for Illinois Swimming. She brought us pizza. We have caution tape around our equipment up here. She has made us a home here at Stevenson High School for the 2019 Illinois Senior Championship. So we cannot thank the hosts and all of Illinois Swimming for the hospitality and the ability to be able to bring and broadcast this live from the 2019 Illinois Senior Championships. And again, if you haven't checked it out, for any 2019 future Illinois swimming events, details, club information, you can go to ilswim.org. And again, this is hosted by the Patriot Aquatic Club. We're going to go ahead and throw it over to the public address announcer for some awards on the podium. All right, welcome back. And a aptly due round of applause for Liam Hutchinson with a new meet record in the last A final for the men's 500-yard freestyle, as we are about to come to a close, but we got some relay action for you. We're going to be kicking it off with the women's 400-yard medley relay. Now, as the medley relays go, The meet record set in 2018 by the St. Charles swim team, 343.50. Miss Armstrong, Yanya, Mallory Jump, and Tava Ernie. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them again here in this A finals. Now, we do not have the names, so I do have to apologize. We have not been given the names of the contestants for the relays, so I'm going to have to go with the team names. So, again, I do apologize if you are tuning in online. I wish I had the names for you. Unfortunately, I'm going to do the best that I can to let you know exactly which team is in which lane. So, what we've got, the Illinois state record, by the way, too, 340.57, set by Waves Bloomington.
2016?
2016, yep. 340.57. Grace Areola, Noelle Poplowski, Julia Heimstead. Hey, we've seen her a couple times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the Futures standard at 357.09. Now, this is the final heat, the one and only heat for the women for the 400-yard medley relay. In lane number 1 at the top of your screen, the C team for the Academy Bullets. Right next door to them, the B team for their teammates over with the Academy Bullets, their B team. In lane number 3 from St. Charles, their A team. Lane number 4, the Academy Bullets yet again, their A squad. They've got 3 teams in this women's 400-yard medley relay final. Now, Delta in lane 5, it's their A team. In fact, it's the A team across the board for the rest of the field. Lane number 6, the host, Patriot Aquatic Club. In lane number 7, the NASA
Wildcats?
NASA Wildcats.
I got you, partner.
There you go. And then from Lions Aquatics, down at the bottom of your screen, it's their A squad. They all made future standard times, but the best time posted by the Academy Bullets, 342.37.
Yep, that is their A squad with that best seed time. Derek, how do you like Academy Bullets' chances with three relay teams in this final?
You know, if I'm a betting man, I would say I would take the Academy Bullets, one of those 3 teams, to go ahead and take it down. But
not that we condone betting at home.
We do not condone betting, especially on high school swimming sports.
Absolutely.
But I mean, the point is that it's a heck of a program that's putting 3 teams in the medley relay final. So we're about to get underway here. Again, we don't have the names, but we will go ahead and keep you posted on which team is in which lane throughout this entire medley relay final. Now, it's going to start with the backstroke. Then I believe it jumps to the breaststroke, then to the butterfly, and then finish
with the freestyle. Yep. You are right, I believe as well, partner, as the young ladies are set to get started. They are in the water. Well, not started, but they're ready to start.
Could be some fireworks with this 400-yard medley relay final.
And again, they are starting off with that backstroke as these young ladies get started. And again, this is a relay, but for these individual swimmers, these are sprints. So they want to get off to the best start as possible.
The first discipline in lane number 4, it's the A group for the Academy Bullets. So, I mean, I wouldn't call them the favorites, but they posted the best qualifying time. And I tell you what, the Academy Bullets member there riding that lane marker, but she had another great turn as they go into the final 100 of the first discipline, or the final 50 of the first discipline.
Yeah, another turn there by Academy Bullets. Again, that is lane 4, their A squad, having a slight lead. At this point, above them in lane 3 is St. Charles, their A squad, right there on that hip.
Here's the first transition, ever so important in these medley relay finals. Into the second discipline, it's going to be the breaststroke. And
check at that underwater work. That is lane 6, Patriot Aquatic.
What a transition where they essentially jumped from 5th to 2nd on the transition. A great turn there from the Academy Bullets, but that lead has shrunk quite a bit as we're going to go into the final 50 of the second discipline, the breaststroke.
Oh, a little long on that reach was Academy Bullets A squad, and it's cost them some ground, partner.
30.79 on the split. The Patriot Aquatic Club, 29.83, and Delta, their A squad in lane 5 with a great 50-yard split with 29.4 as they go into the final turn of the second discipline.
Yeah, that previous turn cost Academy Bullets A in lane 4 a bit of ground there, as that is lane 6 again. Patriot Aquatic with a slight lead heading into the second transition now.
Into the butterfly they go, and another quality transition from the host, Patriot Aquatic Club. A 33.15 on that last 50-yard split for the breaststroke, and a nice turn again from the Patriot Aquatic Club. They are putting up a great performance in this final thus far.
And I have to mention the transitions are key because I've seen disqualifications before. You never want to hit that water before your relayer touches that wall, otherwise you will be disqualified. So far, these relay teams have done a great job of that.
25.37 on that opening 50-yard split for the butterfly. And here's the final turn for the third discipline. It is still a small lead for the Patriot Aquatic Club as the Academy Bullets in lane 4 are still in second. Here is the final transition. It's still going to be the Patriot Aquatic Club out in front with the Academy Bullets in lane 4 in second. As we go to the
final discipline here, it's the freestyle. And again, for these individual racers, these are sprints, so they're leaving it all out there in the pool. They're pounding those legs and arms, trying to win these relay races. That is lane 6 Patriot Aquatic, but right behind them, lane 4 Academy Bullets. It's going to be an exciting final 50 yards, partner.
All the anchors are in the water. A great turn from the Patriot Aquatic Club. They are out in front by 0.8 of a second against the Academy Bullets in lane 4. Here's the final turn, leaving it all out there.
Wow, that was a great turn by Academy Bullets, though. They're going to make it interesting.
Here come the final 15 yards. This place is going crazy.
It's Patriot Aquatic. They're going to take it.
And it is the host, Patriot Aquatic Club, that takes down the top spot in this women's 400-yard medley relay with a 342.65. That's actually a new meet record, topping last year's St. Charles swim team at the 343.5. In fact, what a great run from the Academy Bullets in second place with a 344.04. But the transitions from the Patriot Aquatic Club, I think that's what took it down, partner.
Yeah, that transition at the fly and the freestyle is really what did it for Patriot Aquatic. An amazing swim. Congratulations, young ladies.
A great swim and a great final for the women's events for this Saturday evening set of 2019 Illinois Swimming Senior Championships. Now we have the men's 400-yard medley relay. We'll go ahead and run down the lane assignments here real quick. At the top of your screen, this is the A squad for Fox Valley. In lane 2 for Glenbrook, it's their A squad. In lane 3, the St. Charles swim team, it's their A squad. The lane 4, the A team for West swim team. In lane 5, it's the A team for the Academy Bullets. In lane 6, right next to them are their teammates from the Academy Bullets, the B team. In lane 7 from Hinsdale, the A squad. And at the bottom of your screen, the B squad for Glenbrook.
All of these relay teams qualify future standards. Of course, in lane 4 is the top qualifier with a 318.50. Meet record is 318.28, set in 2018 by Academy Bullets. That, another meet record, that may go down tonight again, partner.
Through the first 50 yards, it's Glenbrook in lane number 2 out in front, but a great turn down in lane 7 by Hinsdale as they go ahead and into the final turn for the first discipline, the backstroke. It is out in front. Glenbrook, their A squad, is absolutely burning through the first discipline.
Here we go, first transition.
First transition, Glenbrook is in the lead. Into the water, second is St. Charles A team in lane number 3.
Boy, but check out that underwater work in lane 3. That is the St. Charles A relay team. They made up a lot of ground with that transition.
First turn of the breaststroke. And it is some great underwater work from
halfway through the pool.
The St. Charles swim team A group. He's made up a lot of ground as they hit the first 50 yards of the breaststroke discipline. 25.42 on that 50-yard split for St. Charles.
They have taken the lead now. Again, that underwater work is outstanding by St. Charles. They have a slight lead.
But look at the West swim team in lane 4, 24.29. They've made up a ton of ground. In fact, almost pulling dead even with St. Charles swim team for first place. In fact, it's going to go right to the wall.
Another transition here. Here comes the butterfly.
Here comes the butterfly. Hitting the wall first was the West swim team by 0.07 of a second over the St. Charles swim team, their A group. It is a hotly contested race in lanes 2, 3, and 4. Lane 4, West swim team out in front Actually, now it's Glenbrook. They take the lead.
Back and forth they go. It's kind of hard to keep track of these athletes. They are burning up that water.
Glenbrook out in front now, taking the lead back on the first 50 yards of the butterfly, the third discipline, heading into the wall in the final turn for the third leg of this medley relay. About to hit this final transition. It is Glenbrook out in front in lane 2. St. Charles swim team in lane 3. Here's the ever so important final transition.
Anchors are in the water for lanes 2, 3, and 4 as they sprint for these final 100 yards. It's Glenbrook in lane 2 with a quarter body length lead.
Now, it is Glenbrook out in front. You look at St. Charles swim team, look at the lane placement, trying to get into that draft as they hit the wall for the first 50 yards. It is Glenbrook out in front with a 21.36 split, but right on his tail is the St. Charles swim team. In third place, don't sleep on West, but it looks like they've fallen off the pace a little bit. Here's the final turn.
Glenbrook and St. Charles. Wow, that is an amazing turn by Glenbrook as they hit the final 10 yards.
A fantastic final turn, but here is St. Charles swim team trying to make it easy, but Glenbrook takes it down. They handle business and close it out with a 3:19.41. St. Charles swim team, a valiant effort with a 3:19.86. Some fireworks on this final event for the men's 400 medley relay. In third was the West swim team with a 3:21.39.
Wow, I'm speechless, partner. I mean, just an amazing way to finish out this evening session with these relays. And again, congratulations to Glenbrook, their A squad, on winning this relay race. We're going
to go ahead and again, thank you so much for joining us, as that is going to conclude our action for the third day. We have one more day of action coming at you tomorrow. We'll start with you at 8:30 in the morning for this Sunday morning prelims. And I tell you what, it's been an absolutely fantastic third day here at the 2019 Illinois Swimming Senior Championships here at Stevenson High School, hosted by the Patriot Aquatic Club. Again, thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. Again, thanking the crew. I'm Derek Tate, Jay Pfeiffer, Estaquio Mendez. Now we are going to go probably wait for the last ceremony and take the podium for the final awards before we go ahead and sign off here. But I do want to go ahead and mention again, at Athletico, our physical therapists help people overcome pain and discomfort and get back to doing the things they love to do. So if you're experiencing any aches or pains, visit athletico.com to request your free assessment and start feeling better today. Athletico is proud to be the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training for Illinois swimming. Athletico Physical Therapy, better for everybody. Now I do want to go ahead and mention on the docket for tomorrow, again, we are going to go ahead and jump live for the prelims on Sunday morning. We're going to be on YouTube for the live stream. We'll be going live at 8:27 for the national anthem, and the competition will begin at 8:30. It's going to go all the way until around 2 or 3 o'clock. Then we're going to have a small break in the action while we set up for the finals. On Sunday evening, we will be going live at 4:52, and the competition will begin at 5 p.m., and then we'll be wrapping up. So the finals will go from about 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. tomorrow night.
Yeah, and again, we're going to have the final award ceremonies here tonight, and then we will officially sign off. So stay with us just for a few more minutes as we congratulate the winners from these relays.
All right, as the public address announcer, and we see that final shot of the men's 400 medley relay winners. It was a fantastic final from start to finish, but it was Glenbrook that took it down as we wrap up here on the third day of the 2019 Illinois Senior Swimming Championships. Again, I want to thank the Patriot Aquatic Club for hosting us all 3 days. We got one more day of action. We'll be back here at 8:30 tomorrow morning on our live stream, so feel free to check out the prelims. We'll be beginning the finals at 5 p.m., so if you want to check us out, again, we appreciate you joining us this evening for the 2019 Illinois Senior Swimming Championships. I'm Derek Tate for Jay Pfeiffer, Estaquio Mendez, Chloe Small, Will Castile, and Shobi Nati. We're going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good night.
Doing the things you love to do just got a lot easier. Because now in Illinois, you no longer need a prescription to start physical therapy. At Athletico, our physical therapists help people overcome pain and discomfort. Schedule a free assessment at Athletico and start feeling better today. And keep on doing the things you love to do. Athletico Physical Therapy. Better for every body.